You're watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to.
It's time for Holiday Countdown right now, and Holiday Countdown is sponsored by the Dremel Multi-Pro tool. It has the speed you need to power through hundreds of jobs. 6 days left to a Christmas, counting, and it's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas. Around New York Metro and on into southern Connecticut and Pennsylvania, the snow on the ground and falling hard and fast. Now from parts of Pennsylvania, a little break in the action right now in parts of southeast New York, northern New Jersey, a little bit of a sucker hole, you could say, coming through on radar where the snow has really slacked off. But we have a lot of heavy precipitation moving on in through southwest PA that'll probably materialize around New York City and Connecticut right around rush hour. Thank you. And low pressure moving on east to Cape Cod by tomorrow afternoon keeps the snow going in much, if not all, of New England. Low temperatures will be winter-like. That'll get you in the spirit, won't it? With the probability of white Christmas historically on the map, but it looks like a lot of places in the east will have that even higher.
Presenting the Dremel Multi-Pro. You cut, Dremel cuts. You sharpen, Dremel sharpens. You polish, Dremel polishes. You drill, Dremel drills. You clean, Dremel cleans. You sand, Dremel sands. You grind, Dremel grinds. You hammer. Did I mention we cut? The Dremel Multi-Pro. With up to 30,000 RPM, it has the speed you need to power through hundreds of jobs.
This Christmas, get into the holiday spirit with Mariah Carey. All your favorite Christmas classics, plus 3 original songs from Mariah. Merry Christmas, the holiday favorite, plus the new #1 album, Daydream, from Mariah Carey.
Hurricanes 95.
This is it. Winds 265.
Forecasting, tracking,
We now are #1 strike probability at 71%.
the intense preparation, and the final assault.
The room just blew up.
Witness the most active hurricane season in 62 years.
It's just gone.
Join the Weather Channel for a special Christmas presentation of Hurricanes 95, Season on Edge, Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Hey, good afternoon. You're watching the Weather Channel. Bill Keneally with you, and we continue to watch this developing major winter-like storm. Not quite wintertime yet. Officially kicks in on Friday morning, I believe it is. Low pressure has brought all that nasty weather yesterday, 4 to 5 inches of snow in Oklahoma City. Locally, around 5 or 6 inches now in St. Louis, 7 in Indianapolis. That's all courtesy of the old low, the old dying low, if you will. And it looks like our new low is going to feast on very warm air, very warm water. And because of that, it's going to really fire up into a major East Coast system, and it looks like there's going to be some very heavy snowfall rates, as Mike mentioned a moment ago, of maybe 1 or 2 inches per hour around the Philadelphia, New York City area and on into southern coastal New England between maybe around 4 and about 9 o'clock, so timing is everything here. Let's show you the radar picture right now. We can roll that into motion for you. And there's your radar scope. This is all that heavy snow that's been dumping on St. Louis. In Indianapolis, St. Louis, it's about over with now. Indianapolis looks like the last hurrah will be the next hour or 2. Note how this enhanced area of precipitation is coming through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and now southeastern PA. This is all going to move up over Philadelphia and into the lower Hudson Valley. That is when the heavy snows are likely to arrive around the New York City area. For now, we were having reports of a lot of freezing rain and sleet around Baltimore. Turns over to mainly a snow event around Philadelphia, a little bit of a break around Harrisburg, but then out through Pittsburgh and Somerset and Bedford. That's another band of very heavy snow and very heavy sleet as well. This is all taking aim on New York, the lower Hudson Valley, and the southern part of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts over the next 4 to 5 hours. Let's show you the weather maps now as they roll into motion for you. As we look at our forecast series, cold high pressure, this is a constant. It's going to be that way for a while. It looks like around the northeast as our low goes by. We'll maintain northerly flow for probably a good 7 days consecutively as that trough just kind of dumps cold air, continues to dump cold air on down. So any snow that falls anywhere really from the Ohio Valley to about northern Virginia northbound, will likely stick around quite some time, i.e. probably through the holiday itself. All right, here we go. Wednesday morning, the snow and the heavy, steady snow, I think, winding down around the city fairly quickly after midnight tonight sometime, around New York, that is. Boston will likely continue, but there's going to be some residual onshore flow, so I think the chances are pretty good of lingering snow showers all the way down to maybe northern West Virginia much of the daytime Wednesday. This may very well carry over into Wednesday night. Cold high pressure building in, getting blustery now in the Atlanta area. Bank on turning much colder by tomorrow. We're getting a real bargain today. Temperatures still running in the mid-50s. Meanwhile, the cold air starts to settle in. KC, you had a little snow. Chicago, you had a very little snow. And it looks like there's going to be some cold air now, but you really did dodge that bullet. Next couple of days, watch the evolution of cold air into the northeast. A lot of 20s and low 30s. Once again, this could be optimistic. With all that snow cover on the ground, it's going to be hard-pressed to get above freezing in most areas. And even Florida cooling down a fair shake on into Saturday. Look at Atlanta. Look at Chattanooga. Highs in the upper 30s on Saturday afternoon. And by Sunday, another little resurgence building into the Twin Cities and up around Des Moines. Okay, there goes the snow on Thursday. More flurries, a good possibility down through Philadelphia and New York. Snow could be fairly steady. And Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, some of these mountain areas, it's going to be perpetual. It's going to dump on you for days on end. Watch out on Friday, the Gulf Coast, our system clipping along. Fairly starved for moisture, but it won't take much to cause some headaches, possibly north of I-10. This turns the corner. This may wind up a little bit once it gets off the Carolina coast. Yet a new system farther upstream.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
You can't see deep down embedded dirt, but now it can't hide from the new Hoover Dirt Finder. It electronically senses embedded dirt, so Hoover's powerful cleaning effectiveness can get what you might have missed. You'll know it's clean when the light turns green.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Look for fine Hoover products at a retailer near you.
There's something special about owning a John Deere. You wake up a little earlier on weekends. You skip morning coffee. And you really, really hate it when it rains. From trimmers to lawn and garden tractors, your John Deere dealer has all sorts of ways to make your work more enjoyable.
For more information about John Deere lawn and garden equipment, contact your local John Deere dealer.
The Good Afternoon Forecast is sponsored by Birdseye, the fresh look for vegetables. Watching the low pressure area evolving, got a little stuck there, out of Kentucky and transferring that energy over to the other low off around the Virginia Capes, and that's going to start to become the main entity. And as it pulls on through, it's going to bring with it heavy snow, possibly a crippling snowfall, maybe to Boston, Providence, possibilities, New Haven, Allentown, New York, crippling, meaning maybe upwards of a foot. And then it's going to start to pull on out, but still residual snow showers kind of getting dumped back down in that trough, right on down into the middle Appalachians. Cold high pressure building in for Tulsa. Snow that fell yesterday is going to stick around a few days in Oklahoma City. This will be primarily snow, light rain for the northwest. Watch out for the rain in Miami, and also Fort Lauderdale will have that radar at the bottom of the hour. It's pretty impressive. There's our best guesstimate for snowfall. We'll be fine-tuning this on an hourly basis. And again tonight, cold air for the Midwest and the Rockies. Your local weather coming up next.
You're just a bit plain. Let's give you some color, some snap, something a little saucy. New easy recipe from Birdseye, the fresh look for vegetables.
Santa, I've had another job offer.
Oh, no. How can we change your mind? How about a raise? Company sled?
No one can resist Long John Silver's popcorn fish or new country-style popcorn shrimp. A quarter pound with fries is just $1.99.
Maybe if you gave me your popcorn fish.
Keep in touch, kid.
Right now, collect a holiday crystal for just 99 cents each.
Long John Silver's, America's place to go for amazing shrimp and fish.
It's a scope of coverage you won't find anywhere else. Watch the next weather scope at the top and bottom of the hour, only on the Weather Channel. And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
Hey, good afternoon. Bill Keneally with you on the Weather Channel. We're watching the evolving storm now across the Ohio and Tennessee Valley, beginning to transfer its energy over to the Carolina coast. Pressures are now falling rapidly in a lot of eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, and just indicating to us that everything is coming together according to Hoyle as that low starts to develop later on today over by the Virginia Capes area. The energy is getting transferred right now. And this will be our primary low. This guy is no slouch, though. He's done some damage. We've had a lot of snow falling in the last few hours around Cleveland, Ohio, and also out across the areas around Indianapolis. We've had about 7 inches around the Indianapolis area. And once again, that snow continues quite heavily, but I think it should begin to die down over the next hour or two. All right, let's show you the satellite picture of the area. And once again, the satellite picture will come into view, satellite in motion. And unfortunately, we have an ugly image here at the end, but you can kind of get the gist of things. I don't know what happened here, but oh, I hate it. All right, anyway, we have this low coming through Kentucky. That's the upper low. It's going to transfer the energy over to the Carolina coast, and it's going to slowly become that primary low. It's not worth pointing at, but you can kind of see the evolution of what's going on here. We'll try to clean up that mess real soon, I hope. All right, let's see what's going on. Hang in there. All right, there we go. The radar is back. The radar should be pretty cooperative, I think. Here's how it looks. We have a fair amount of precipitation aloft over Boston, Providence, and Hartford and Albany, but little, if any, of that is hitting the ground at this hour. The snows are falling, though, in the lower Hudson Valley, southern Connecticut coast, southern Rhode Island, and on back down through the islands, Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket both getting snowfall. There's a better look at that low, by the way, back over Kentucky. You can kind of see that spin. Good news around St. Louis, that snow is starting to wind down, but around Indianapolis, still some pretty heavy snow, 2 inches in the past hour in Marion County. Still looking at the possibilities of some severe weather in eastern North Carolina. A little line here holding together east of Charlotte, so around Florence and Wilmington and Columbia. Watch out over the next few hours. And there's still some residual cold rain back into parts of Arkansas and northern areas of Mississippi. Let's take you on in around the northeast and see what's happening. Primarily, we're seeing some ice and rain around Washington National Airport's 32, raining at this hour. Some sleet thrown in, too. Now, it looks like there's a pretty nasty ice storm developing roughly from around Gaithersburg to around the city of Baltimore northward, right up along the Mason-Dixon line. This has been pretty much around 30 degrees, and there's been a lot of freezing rain, some sleet thrown in as well. But I'm sure there's a lot of accumulation of ice on the trees and the power lines, so I'm sure there'll be some power outages. Thankfully, the wind is not a big factor yet, but that could be a factor over the next few hours as that primary low starts taking shape off of the Virginia Capes. Philadelphia northbound, pretty much all snow. It's not that bad right now. Visibility is around New York running 1 or 2 miles. That just tells us the snows are not as heavy as they had been, but it looks like this enhanced area is going to come on up, and as it does, it'll bring with it, wouldn't you know, at the snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, probably just in time for the latter stages of the rush hour, probably between around, say, 4 and 9 o'clock or 5 and 9 o'clock. New York City should really get clocked by heavy snowfall. Philadelphia, the snow and sleet picking up. That's the case in Wilmington. As Rich recommended, travel strongly discouraged on the New Jersey Turnpike and the eastern parts of the Pennsylvania Turnpike and the Delaware Bridge. We have restrictions for travel, or at least for speed limits. Ohio getting clocked with heavy snow at this hour in the Miami River Valley. Dayton getting hit, Mansfield getting hit, Bucyrus, Cleveland getting clocked, back on through Indianapolis, southward down through French Lick. Still some heavy snow, and it looks like that snow continues back along the Wabash. Then it starts tapering on down. Now over the southeast we have some rain, a cold rain at that. Temperatures around the upper 30s and light rain falling in Memphis. And some of this is going to rotate on through, so Atlanta and Charlotte and maybe Chattanooga may see some rain, and maybe a flake or two could mix in later on this evening, but it should not be any big deal. The action is going down in Florida today, too. Let's show you that radar. This is kind of ominous. Now in Broward and Dade and Palm Beach County, we have 3 counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. Everything bowing off in your direction now, so watch out on 95 and the Florida Turnpike, as well as A1A on the coast. Briefly, very gusty winds can be expected. Over at the Naples Airport, we had a wind gust earlier to 60 miles per hour. Western states, things have quieted down. A pretty good day in Denver. Snows have wound down in Wichita and south of Kansas City, where we've had locally 2 to 5 inches, primarily south of KC. I want to show you the cloud cover back in Washington and Oregon. I really do want to show it to you. But instead, we'll go for the old reliable radar. Seattle down to Portland, a couple of showers, and again, primarily light rain moving off towards the northeast. Let's show you the forecast now. This will be for tomorrow now, and we'll watch that low pulling on east of Long Island as it does. I think the heavier, steadier snow should wind down fairly quickly after midnight, but it's going to linger in the form of snow showers much of the day around New York. Steady snow continues in Boston and Concord and Portland probably through the rush hour, and then it's going to keep on keeping on, bringing snow showers down the Appalachians. High pressure builds in, a chillier day in Raleigh, Macon, down into New Orleans. Heavier areas of primarily snow now showing up with the liquid equivalent maybe exceeding an inch, so you can do the translation here. Could see locally a foot. The Poconos, the Lehigh Valley, northern New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, and southern Connecticut and Rhode Island. Boston, you should get dumped on good too. Next couple of days, watch the cold air as it spins on east, and even around the south part of Florida it's going to get colder yet. Looking like Thursday and Friday cooling down quite a bit. Look at Tallahassee into the low 50s on Friday. Saturday now, Tampa in the mid-60s, and by Sunday still another shot of cold air building up in the plain states. Watch on Thursday for this system across the Texas coast. Pulling on east may grab some cold enough air to bring some snow or sleet. Then it should spin on out by Sunday.
So Janie was playing a molecule in the school play.
I am the molecule for water.
And I start coughing. Everyone's staring. I'm stuck. Fortunately, somebody handed me these cough drops. Robitussin. I didn't even know they made cough drops. Well, they worked on my cough right away. Soothed my throat. And I could feel those vapors.
Better?
And I'm glad Robitussin took the spotlight off me and put it where it belongs.
Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
Just because a glass and surface cleaner is blue like Windex doesn't mean it cleans glass as well as Windex, because only Windex is specially formulated with ammonia D. It leaves a beautiful streak-free shine just about anyone can appreciate. Windex, the best on glass from S.C. Johnson Wax.
Check out the Alaska-Hawaii weather now. We watch the low pressure area in the Gulf of Alaska, the southern Gulf of Alaska, continue to churn on to the east. Now there is a weak area of low pressure with a little trough extending up around the inside passage, and because of that there's some light rain falling around the city of Juneau at this hour. It is really not that bad though on the mainland. Temperature is actually hovering just above zero around the city of Fairbanks. Let's show you the satellite picture in motion now. Watching that low in the Gulf of Alaska, there's one, there's another one up here southwest of Kodiak, and that other one now kind of glancing the Juneau area. The numbers now for Hawaii are not too bad off. All that action is well to your north. There's still some pretty high swells coming down for the north-facing beaches, however. 77 at Honolulu, 74 at this hour at Hilo. It is down to 2 above in Fairbanks, but considering what it's been, that's quite a bargain. 28 in Anchorage and 40 in light rain around Juneau. Well, check out your local weather. We'll have the European weather as well coming up, and then a full-fledged winter storm update.
New, the first multimedia CD-ROM from the Weather Channel. Everything Weather is the essential guide to the wisest wonders of weather. See tornadoes from every angle. Discover fascinating facts and features about these terrifying twisters. Explore a complete climate database of more than 500 U.S. cities. Go global to look up information for international destinations. Plan each day with a beautiful weather photograph using the Daily Planner. In-depth analysis of hurricanes, winter storms, and thunderstorms. Read and print out 95 articles explaining amazing weather phenomena. View over 250 dramatic weather photographs and see over 40 one-of-a-kind video clips. Connect to a local forecast for over 200 U.S. and international cities. This easy-to-use weather reference CD-ROM is a great gift for the whole family. Now available for Windows, in stores everywhere, or order directly from the Weather Channel for only $49.95. Call 1-800-633-2222. That's 1-800-633-2222. Order now.
And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
This vacation break is brought to you by Gold Coast Cruise Center.
Taking a family on vacation can be an easy task. Treat yourself to a fantastic vacation. Take a cruise with Gold Coast Cruise Center.
Take a fantastic vacation, an all-inclusive cruise vacation for less than $100 a day. This includes all your meals and buffets, fantastic Broadway-style shows and entertainment, most shipboard activities, and fabulous ports of call. The Bahamas, the Mexican Riviera, the Caribbean, San Juan, and many more. With Gold Coast Cruise Center, you can save from $300 to $1,500 per cabin. Call now and we'll send you a free set of cruise brochures. 1-800-443-7447. Be sure to ask about your complimentary cruise video. It's free. That's Gold Coast Cruise Center at 1-800-443-7447. Call now.
International weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Updating your international weather at about 17 in front of the hour. By the way, the winter weather update is waiting on deck. Well, it's on double deck, actually. Check out what's happening for Wednesday. Low pressure moving through into the Baltic Sea. Still some residual snow showers around that big spinning low coming off of Lillehammer down into Copenhagen. And yet another low. It's been parked there for quite a while off of the Iberian Peninsula. Some rain may scoot on up to about Wales. Meanwhile, some snow may fall over by Austria. Big low moving out of Bucharest in Romania. Hopefully some drier weather over by the Yugoslavian military effort. Now, the forecast, highs on Wednesday. Cold air in the Baltics. Kind of chilly around Paris. Highs in the upper 30s and mid-40s. Still relatively cold air, too, down towards Rome, Italy. Check out Athens. Few showers and low 40s. That is an ugly day for you Grecians. Partly cloudy, low 50s at Madrid. Rome cloudy, low 50s. And a few showers in Paris and low 40s. We'll check out the Florida radar. That'll be next.
What do some hair care brands think? We all come from some kind of mold? Whose hair fits into one little category? Not yours. Only Salon Selectives let you find yourself in this line of shampoos, conditioners, and styling products. Select some precise levels and types to find what's just right for you. Put it all together, like only you can, for hair with style. Don't blend in. Stand out. Salon Selectives. Select your elements of style.
Sun, snow, rain, or fog. Know what to expect. Just 95 cents a minute. Dial 1-900-WEATHER and connect.
Listen, kids, Nickelodeon's Wienerville Live is coming to Seasons Resort. That's right, Nickelodeon's Wienerville Live, starring Mark Wiener, is at Seasons Resort for 2 big shows, December 30th, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Tickets only $12 in advance with a special lunch menu available. This holiday season, don't let your children miss their chance to meet Mark, Boney, Sacco, Pop, and all their Wienerville friends. Call Seasons Resort or Ticketmaster for tickets. Wienerville Live. Don't miss it.
Who's coming to Riverdale?
You know who's coming. They've been part of the community for 43 years.
If they're already in the area, then why are they building?
This is their new location. They're expanding their showroom and their service hours.
Moving to the intersection of 287 and Route 23 sure makes it a convenient location.
Yeah, especially for people in Passaic, Morris, Bergen, and Sussex counties.
But you haven't told me who's coming.
Okay. It's...
If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel.
Well, the winds of change are blowing today down in Florida. It's turning quite a bit colder as the afternoon wears on around the Florida Panhandle and even around Tallahassee. Even though it's still around 70, I think we should start to top out this hour, then fall rather quickly from here on out. And even some of that low cloud cover looks like it wants to rotate in around Pensacola. Still a lot of brightness to the cloud cover, indicative of high cloud tops, and with that, some pretty good-sized storms. Let's show you the satellite picture in motion now. Tampa still kind of muggy. The front has not gone by as of yet, and it looks like that front is still parked just to your northwest. Now, there's quite a squall line out ahead of all this. Let's show you that radar view. You can see the action moving on into Broward and Dade and Palm Beach County. Also, there's a pretty good cluster of storms a little bit north of Orlando, so watch around the DeLand area up on I-4. And then this system kind of poking its way on into Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So it's going to move on in, bring with it some very, very gusty winds at the onset. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in the area until 3:15 this afternoon.
Oh, snowman!
Oh, now we can make our own!
Oh, this is cool! Ah, my own mutual fund.
Presenting the gift of shares, a mutual fund gift from Alliance Capital. For just $250, you can start anyone you love investing this holiday season. The gift of shares, another way Alliance Capital gives you mutual funds without the mystery.
Hey, I'm thirsty.
Okay, we got purple stuff, soda, and Sunny Delight Light.
Like Sunny D?
Yeah, it's got less calories than regular Sunny D, but still has a healthy jug.
Ready for more? Yeah.
See you soon!
Sunny Delight Light, the good stuff kids go for.
Okay, here we go with that winter storm update. Yes, it's still fall, but it might as well be wintertime. Matter of fact, the snow that fell today around Oklahoma City and St. Louis and is just starting to taper down to Indianapolis will likely be with you into the holiday. As we see it, this high in Canada will continue feeding down much colder air to the area over the next 5 or 6 days. Here's our complex situation back east. Our low pressure in eastern Kentucky now starting to transfer energies over to the eastern part of North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Pressures are falling rapidly. We have seen 6 millibar pressure falls from Washington, D.C. down to about New Bern, North Carolina over the last 3 hours, and that's just indicative of a system jumping center, transferring the energy over to the Carolina coast. Snow from the old low, if you will, has been rather prolific. Indianapolis, 7 inches. Cleveland, 7 inches. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 6 inches after a lot of ice. I'm sure it's very nasty up in northeast Indiana right now. St. Louis has picked up 5. State College, PA, around 4. It's still coming down quite heavily. And around the Philadelphia-New York corridor, snows are picking up, especially on the southwest side of New York and over the northeastern side of Philly. 4 inches at Princeton and 2 so far at both LaGuardia and at JFK Airport. There's plenty more where that came from. Low pressure now in West Tennessee. It looks like that energy transfer is underway, and with all that warm water just off the coast, it's going to feast on this system and really start to strengthen up, and as it does, it'll throw a good slot of snow into Philadelphia and New York and up into southern New England over the next 4 to 6 hours. And as that does occur, I think the snowfall rates are going to be maybe 1 or 2 inches per hour around the Philadelphia and New York City area. Philadelphia south has been a lot of freezing rain, a lot of sleet. It looks like there's quite an ice storm underway just to the northwest of Washington, up around Frederick, Maryland, and around Baltimore, the city itself, Towson, Bel Air area, on up to about the Mason-Dixon line. Quite a few reports of a lot of ice now building up on the trees and the power lines. Here's how we see it. The eastern part of PA, Allentown, the Lehigh Valley, northern Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, southern Connecticut should really get dumped on. It may not be as prolific an event as we talked about a few hours ago, but still I could see a good 8 to 12 inches falling in this area. Philadelphia getting primarily snow and sleet now. It looks like as that low starts to pull on off of the coast, we'll get more of a snow event in the lower Delaware Valley over the next few hours. As far as the snow forecast goes, it looks like 6 to 12 inches from central PA, the upper Susquehanna Valley, all the way to around Boston. This may have to be reduced a little bit, but I think somebody could squeeze out a foot of snow from extreme northeastern PA, northern New Jersey, High Point area, for instance, over into Harriman State Park in southern Connecticut. Somebody may very well get a foot of snow out of all this. Behind all this, cold air continues to feed on in, and right now that blocking area of high pressure is helping matters. Also, there's a low farther offshore. Everything is going to get all bottled up out here, so I think it looks like even though our main low is going to pull on through and take the steady, heavy snow out of New York sometime after midnight, we'll continue to have somewhat of a northeasterly component, and as that low may slow down some well east of Boston, it'll still have enough of a residual effect to bring snow showers back on down as far as, say, Philadelphia, maybe Baltimore through much of the daytime on Wednesday. And then again, this high being blocked up where it is will continue feeding cold air right on down the eastern seaboard. Let's show you the radar picture now, see what's happening over the eastern two-thirds of the country. You can see the spinning motion of that low pressure in western Kentucky, still snowing quite heavily around Indianapolis and in the Wabash Valley. We've had around 7 inches or 8 inches in the Indianapolis area. And once again, we continue to find some rain falling pretty much from about Morgantown, West Virginia southward. Washington, D.C., some sleet and freezing rain, along with some rain. It looks like as we transition to the other low taking shape off of the Virginia Capes, I think enough cold air is going to come down to bring primarily a sleet event to Washington later on this afternoon, and you may very well go over to snow for a little while this evening. Here's how it looks in Pennsylvania. Snow picking up in Pittsburgh now. Again, from north central West Virginia southward, it's pretty much all rain. Baltimore, freezing rain, some sleet mixed in. Quite a bit of icing reported up in the northern suburbs, Reisterstown, and all the way over to about Bel Air and on into north central areas of Delaware. Let's show you that radar zoomed in, and we'll roll it into motion now. It looks like Philadelphia, Trenton, Princeton, New York. This is going to get pretty ugly in time for the rush hour. Snowfall rates will be increasing, and as this big blob comes up around the cold air of New York and Bridgeport and on the island, we may very well see 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour as the rush hour ensues.
Critics call it the new feel-good hit of the season. It's hot and pulsing. It's warm and misty. A must experience for the entire family. The original shower massage, only by Teledyne Waterpick. If you only take 1 shower this year, this should be it.
Jane has cancer.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's such a shock. You always think this is going to happen to someone else, and now it's my sister.
Tell Jane to call Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Isn't that where your mom was treated?
Yes. The doctors answer your questions and ask for your input, and they involve the patient in deciding which treatments are right.
I'm going to tell Jane to call Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Please call today, 1-800-774-0944. Witness firsthand the most active hurricane season in 62 years. Watch Hurricanes 95 Season on Edge, Christmas Day at 1 Eastern.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Radar at this hour showing our snow. It's trying to edge into Boston, but it's not quite getting there yet. The air at the surface is still fairly dry. Snow falling out by the islands of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. Southern Rhode Island, down around the Newport area, and snow falling as well down around southern Connecticut. Snow falling at a pretty good clip around Allentown, Philadelphia, New York. Some sleet around the Philadelphia area. This is going to get a lot heavier, I think, over the next 4 to 5 hours as a big blob of moisture over Baltimore and now entering Harrisburg begins to slide off towards the northeast. So travel is definitely discouraged up on the New Jersey Turnpike and the Pennsylvania Pike. Snow all the way back on I-72, all the way back to east of Kansas City. St. Louis, you've had about 5 inches. Watch the snowy travel enveloping all of New York State and many parts of northern New England. This could be a snow event that'll last for days on end. Snows in the Cascades, some snow off the lakes as well, and again some rainy travel, especially in South Florida.
Presenting the ultimate tire for your sport utility vehicle, the Michelin LTX. Michelin's technological advances in sidewall and tread design give it a smoother, quieter ride than you might ever expect from a 4x4 tire. Yet it's rugged enough, tough enough, Michelin enough to get you through anything. The LTX series from Michelin.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
At 42 minutes after the hour, you can find out what the weather is like in Germany and Spain. At 42 minutes after the hour, you can see the temperatures for Italy and France. And at 42 minutes after the hour, we explain how the conditions for England and Russia can affect travel plans. Watch International Weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
Combination of a high pressure area over Canada coupled with a low pressure area over Kentucky has brought snow and ice through the Ohio Valley, and it's heading east. Good afternoon, I'm Rich Johnson. We have a major snowstorm and ice storm now through the Ohio Valley that is likely to work its way to the east, and we will also be looking at a secondary low pressure area developing off of North Carolina. That is going to bring the heaviest of the snow to the northeast. Let's show you right now on our satellite photograph exactly what we see. We do see a low pressure area over Kentucky. This is the first low pressure area which will gradually weaken. Right now pressures are falling rapidly off the Virginia Capes and off of North Carolina, so we will see that low pressure area take over by this evening, and that is by far going to be the major or the strongest of the two storms, where we'll see a foot of snow in some cases through some big cities of the east. Some of the snow began falling this morning around Philadelphia. You can see some of the scenes here. In fact, a snow emergency was declared early this morning, eliminating parking on major streets and easing the way for commuters and snow plows. Speeds were reduced to 25 miles per hour on the Delaware River bridges and the Philadelphia International Airport. Crews worked throughout the night to clear the runway. So we take you to Muncie, Indiana. Snow fell this morning. The city of Muncie declared a weather emergency, closing City Hall after the storm knocked out power to many homes and streetlights. A tremendous amount of ice covered roads, and police blocked traffic near down live power lines. Schools and offices were also closed today. Nearby Indianapolis picked upwards of 7 inches of snow. In fact, I believe up to 8 inches of snow right now. Well, as we look at the scene again, the radar showing the scope of this storm reaching from the northeast still through portions of the Midwest into Kentucky and Ohio. Most of this is in the form of snow along and north of the Ohio River, but it does change over to ice. In fact, the first bout of snow, generally in northern Pennsylvania, has brought a 4 to 9 inch snowfall. Closer examination of Indiana and Ohio. This is mostly snow that we continue to see fall, although in central and southern Kentucky it is rain. The snow continues very heavily from Cleveland, Mansfield, Canton, Akron to Dayton. Around Indianapolis, your snow has now become light after a heavy snow today. Upwards of 8 inches have fallen. In fact, you can see Dayton there on your screen. Just west of Dayton, Interstate 70 is closed. Drifts are already reportedly up to 2 to 3 feet, and some of those drifts may climb all the way up to 8 feet by the time the storm is over with later tonight. Farther to the east into eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania, all of this is snow that we are seeing. Heavy snow around Cleveland. Around Pittsburgh, you're seeing a little bit of a mix. Not all, I should have said some of it was a mix, but around Pittsburgh, you should change over to all snow. In fact, you should see a decent accumulation, but the energy is transferring from this storm, so that means from New York City to Boston, you will likely see the most of anyone, for the exception of maybe some of the mountainous areas. As we look at Pennsylvania, this is mostly snow, although generally south of the turnpike, we are seeing a mix of snow and ice. Around Baltimore, we see freezing rain and sleet, and probably into Washington, D.C., you will see light amounts of snow after some of the icing. Some of the snow is going to be heavy from Harrisburg, Allentown to northern New Jersey. That is one of the greatest potentials for snow into Connecticut and into Boston. Maybe a foot of snow or even more. One more radar. This is the close-up view. We can see exactly what's happening right now. Some heavier amounts of precipitation ready to work its way toward New York City. So the heavy snow should be starting later this afternoon into tonight and continuing into tomorrow. As we look at some of the storm totals, some of the numbers look like this. Around Indianapolis, you're now up to 8 inches of snow. Cleveland, 7 inches officially. Some of the snow, as we look across Pennsylvania, a general 4 to 9 inch snowfall. What caused this storm and how did it form? Well, as we show you, a low pressure area over Kentucky and Tennessee. Warm ocean water is going to cause a secondary low pressure area development, energy transfer, and that will become the dominant low, where we will see snow to the north, rain well to the south, and that icy mix in between. Some of the cities look like this. Boston and New York City, you may be vying for the title of the heavy snow coming in tonight and tomorrow. Certainly more than a foot is possible. Around Washington and Baltimore, you will escape most of this. Well, the low pressure area is going to bring the heaviest of the snow through southern New England to northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Some of the highways like Interstate 81 and the northeast extension of the Pennsylvania Turnpike could see big problems. Well, this storm is blocked due to a large area low pressure off the Canadian Maritimes, and that is where we're going to see the snow continue over the next 48 hours. Now with this forecast, here's Bill Keneally in the studio.
All right, Rich, thanks a lot. We continue to see our snow event winding down across parts of Illinois and also eastern Missouri, but still I think that snow will continue for quite some time across the eastern Ohio Valley area and also southern PA into central PA and over into New York and New Jersey. Snowfall rates will be getting heavier as the afternoon wears on, could be up to 1 to 2 inches per hour. And it looks like there's still quite a bit of action ahead of the cold front down in Florida. Let's show you that radar view real quickly now. See what's happening. Here come the storms barreling into Dade and Broward County. Briefly, winds could be gusting 50 or 60 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warnings are out for Palm Beach and Broward and Dade County until 3:15 local time. They'll barrel on through behind it, turning windy and colder in the area tonight. And then it looks like a pretty chilly latter part of the week on into the weekend. We'll check out the ski weather. That'll be next.
I don't see them. I think we're safe.
Of course we're safe. We're in my Subaru Outback.
I know the world's first sport utility wagon.
This beauty's got dual airbags, full-time all-wheel drive. It's more stable in the turn than a Blazer.
What else you got?
Better braking than an Explorer. That's my Subaru Outback. The world's first sport utility wagon.
Visit your nearest Subaru dealer today to experience the beauty of all-wheel drive.
My son Shaq is a big guy, and when he gets a cold, he gets a big cold. When he was little, well, he never really was little. Our doctor recommended Robitussin for his big cough. Now that he's all grown up, Robitussin makes a cold formula, too. These little liquid gels can take care of 7 feet, 300 pounds of stuffiness, congestion, and cough. Now, if they only had a formula for free throws.
Robitussin cold formulas, recommended by Dr. Mom O'Neill.
Now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
Zeddo Pasta announces the end of Tuesday as we know it. Monday starts the week. Friday's party time.
Tuesday's not even a midpoint. It's dull. Save Tuesday with the Rosetto Pasta Rescue, RPR for short. Once your family tastes Rosetto ravioli with its ricotta, pecorino, and Parmesan cheeses spiced to perfection, they might actually like Tuesday because they'll get an authentic pasta dinner with the ease of boiling water. So mark your calendar. Rosetto every Tuesday. Comes around every week or so. Purchase required. Look in your freezer case.
Hurricanes 95.
This is it. Winds 265.
Forecasting, tracking.
We now are number one strike probability at 71%.
The intense preparation and the final assault.
The roof just blew up.
Witness the most active hurricane season in 62 years.
It's just gone.
Join the Weather Channel for a special Christmas presentation of Hurricanes 95, Season on Edge, Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
The Skiers Forecast is sponsored by Winter Park, Colorado's favorite resort. Looking at the eastern areas of Stratton, Seven Springs, and Loon Mountain, packed powder in most areas, lots of trails. This is as good a pre-holiday week as you will get. Stowe and Holiday Valley in New York and Camelback also in good shape. Now here's our call for the snow. Folks around Camelback, Vernon Valley, Hunter, over to about Mount Southington, Connecticut, getting up around, say, Wachusett in Massachusetts, should all do pretty well with this one. Somebody could see a foot of snow with relative ease, I think, although the amounts may not be quite as high as we had thought earlier. But nonetheless, this is a big dump of snow for the week before Christmas. Snow showers linger in the area Thursday as well as on into Friday, generally quieter farther west. Now some more conditions.
Complete the park. Complete the park. Colorado's baby. With the park. Ow! Mary Jane. Ow!
Weather information you need whenever you need it. Just like the local forecast you see when you watch the Weather Channel on cable. Call the Weather Channel Connection. Sun, snow, rain, or fog. Know what to expect. Just 95 cents a minute. Dial 1-900-WEATHER and connect.
At Unky's Place in Byram, we've decked the halls with thousands of lights and ornaments, animated figures, Christmas bears, trains, and our spectacular Unky-sized Christmas tree. And every Friday and Saturday night, after feeding the reindeer, Santa stops in for the best steak in New Jersey. And to enter every child in his special drawing to win one of 4 cuddly bears or 50 goofy Santas. Santa sometimes stops in for dinner during the week. Just call for his schedule. Unky's Place in Byram, the only place for steak and the only place for dinner in a Christmas wonderland.
Wanted, Tom Wirtz of High Point Chevrolet Geo for beating down prices and blowing out his competition. Kelly Wirtz of High Point Chevrolet Geo for slashing prices and giving top dollar on trade-in vehicles. Your reward, discounts to first-time buyers, $100 worth of free service from High Point if they can't beat your best price, manufacturer's cash rebates, and more. A Wirtz family dealership, everything a car dealership should be.
Nice to be wanted.
High Point Chevrolet Geo, Route 23, Sussex.